we gonna do anything?
Well, yeah, we're gonna
We're just
yeah
gonna
we're gonna
start now.
record. I was gonna
No.
say the intro once it sounded good, but now I mean I guess we gotta.
I thought we were just waiting for like literally anyone
Oh,
else, but
I don't
no.
think we're ready. I don't think we can wait for anyone. I think this is as many as we're gonna get. You know.
We're fucked.
We're yeah yeah. I mean this is how it is. Hey, you know it's almost Halloween technically.
I mean, we have what 3 more hours of
Yeah.
Halloween, so
But I feel like Halloween really means
Lame.
Halloween night. Like
here's the weird thing, right? Netflix released like their big Halloween blockbuster horror movie today, and is the Mandalorian coming out tomorrow, or did that
The
come out
Mandalorian
today
was
too?
today. As I found out when Dan
Why the
spoiled
fuck
it
is
for me.
everything, Why the fuck is everything coming out like the day before Halloween? Like, I get that it's a Friday, so it's a better night to do it than Saturday. But like, still,
Well-
it's weird that Netflix shipped out their big Halloween movie the day before Halloween.
I mean, the Mandalorian might have just been releasing it on a Friday, you know, like not related to
Yeah.
Halloween. For
Yeah,
the
because-
Halloween one, maybe they were like, oh, people might have plans on Halloween night, you know, because like that would be fairly reasonable. But like they're not gonna have plans the day before Halloween, but they're still gonna be in the spooky spirit. So
Jokes on them. I have my pre-Halloween bash every year on the day.
okay, well
before
then you can
Halloween.
still watch it on Halloween. I mean, it's not like it's a once in a lifetime movie. It's streamed.
It's still weird because corporations are always trying to do shit like that. Like, we're releasing it on Halloween. But Netflix is just like, nah, we'll do it the day before. We'll give you some
Time zones. I don't know.
Time zones.
Yeah,
You know what I don't understand, right? Games that are released on Halloween. Because the thing about a game is that you cannot, I mean, unless it's a really short game, you can't play a game in just like an hour or two, you know?
like, what game?
Luigi's
you're not- 'cause I
Mansion
can't
3 was
remember.
released last year,
Really?
yes, on Halloween.
Really?
They
That's kind of crazy. Who the fuck's gonna play Luigi's Mansion 3 on Halloween?
They should have released it early in October so that, you know, you'd have the chance to play it that October.
Yeah.
I know there's a Five Nights at Freddy's game released on Halloween. You could probably play that in a couple hours.
Probably.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Anyway, this is a cubic
Yeah.
inch of sound.
No, no,
We went to
no.
a cemetery, but Kyle didn't. But it's actually kind of
Yeah, fuck
funny. What happened? We'll get to that.
Yeah.
I'm Luke, and I'm alive. Sadly, I'm a poser.
I'm Kevin, and I'm a wanted criminal.
I'm Kyle, and I did visit a cemetery, but it was the cemetery for all of the brain cells I lost this semester.
Whoa, you lost brain cells? What'd you do? Smoke weed?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Oh my god, how much weed did you smoke, dude?
Oh, I was zonked. I got boofed harder than the face that I put as Kevin's picture on his Death Wiki profile.
Yeah, that's an obscure one. Remember, kids, if you do even a single marijuana, you will die instantly. That's actually what graveyards are. They're
You're
just
gonna go to hell before you die.
yeah, that graveyards are just people who smoked a weed once.
Yeah. I injected a lettuce, and now I'm fucked.
Yes, precisely. So anyway, Kevin, how was your graveyard experience?
Yeah, it was fine.
It was pretty neat. I wish other people were here to hear about it, but I guess Kyle will have to do if we can't do any better.
They can listen from home. All right, here's the play-by-play.
I will be the vessel to carry your story on through the ages, Kevin.
No,
Here's
I'm
the
recording it.
play-by-play.
That's
I'm
the
like-
vessel. It's getting put on fucking Spotify.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm the vessel until it gets uploaded. All I have to do is remember just in case.
All right.
So, Luke and I were like, hey, Luke wanted to go to this other place that's kind of on a main road. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to go there. You know, there's probably like police or something. I don't want to park my car there. That would be a bad idea. But I know that there's this other cemetery that's like smaller and it's in more of like a neighborhood. So we could go to Connor's house, park our car there, and then just walk over the street at night and then just like hang out there and like we won't have our cars parked there. It'll be fine. Luke and I show up. Connor is unavailable because he ghosted us. Maybe he's buried there. Who knows?
How's it going?
Yes. So then Luke and I park on the side of the road. All right. For some reason, when I open my door to get out, it just starts blasting like the alarm. Like my car horn is just going off. It's going crazy, and I'm like, oh fuck! I just woke up all the neighbors at midnight.
Did you like lock
I'm
your
like-
car and then try to unlock it from the inside?
I locked it while I was inside because I'm like, oh, I know locking my car turns off my headlights, and I didn't want those pointing at like some. I didn't want to bother people on the street, so I wanted to turn off my headlights, so I locked the car. So, but I knew that would happen if I tried to open it, so I unlocked the car, and I'm like, see, this'll solve it. I unlocked the car, and then I opened the door, and it still went off, and I'm like, god damn it. So Luke and I are like, yeah, let's book it.
Well, no, not booking. We
Uh,
didn't run away. We just went somewhere else.
I'm like, I booked it. Luke calmly drove away. I booked
Did
it.
you ever,
So
did you ever consider that maybe it was a ghost that was setting off your alarm?
maybe it was a ghost.
Wow, that's a really
I didn't
that's a
consider
really fucking inane ghost, if you ask me. Like that's just a stupid thing to do. I don't know.
Isn't that like a poltergeist when they have like a little
Yeah,
control
yeah,
over the world?
Yeah, I
or
mean,
something?
usually poltergeists like they can push things over. Like, yeah, they could set off an alarm or something. I just feel like that's not that good of a haunting. I've been haunted.
It spooks
better.
me a little bit. All right, so and I'm like, okay, fine, Luke. Let's go to that one on the main road. Whatever, we'll just park there. It'll be fine. Well, first we were like, let's try and park down this abandoned road, but it turned out to not be abandoned. So
Correct.
we went to the parking lot, and I parked there, and I'm thinking, you're like, yeah, this is probably a bad idea, but like, whatever, it's whatever. So Luke and I get there, we're walking around. He looked at some tombstones, gravestones, whatever, and then we're like, yeah, okay, let's just sit and talk. We sit down. Not like 5 minutes later, a car comes up, and we're just like, oh, whatever. And then it goes down like a road behind the cemetery that I didn't even know existed, and like has a really bright light, kind of in the direction that we are. And we're like, is that a police car? Like, is it? And it drove away, and we're like, nah, no, it's not. And then it turns in to where my car is parked and stops behind that car, like my car. It stops right there, and we're like, fuck, it is a police car. So Luke and I sit there for a little bit, like, what do we do? Do we get up and we go? Luke's like, we should probably just like walk over there and talk to him. So we stand up, we start walking to him. They flash a light at us, and I'm walking around. We have masks on, and it was kind of cold, and I was breathing, and it was fogging up my glasses. So and they flashed the light at us. So I'm like blindly stumbling around, trying not to trip over any like gravestones or step on
Dude,
any.
He probably
ghosts.
thought you were a zombie.
I don't know, bro. So we get like halfway over there, and then they just turn around and leave. We didn't even get to talk to him. So I was like, I was so fucking done. I'm like, god damn it, Luke, we're calling this off, and I just left.
They didn't even ask me any questions.
And that was it. Yeah, I wanted to at least explain what we were doing, but no, they didn't want to hear us.
I mean, I figured, like we go over there, ask like, am I not allowed to be here? Because frankly, I don't know when I'm allowed to be places. Nobody ever tells me where I can and can't be at any given time. That's the thing. There's
Yes.
a no vandalism sign, right? There was no posted sign saying when the cemetery closes. Apparently,
Oh yeah, and another thing, Luke parked like further down or in like a separate lot or something. So my car was the only one that appeared to be in the area, so they just stopped behind mine, and I'm like, God fucking damn it, Luke got away scot-free if anything happens.
yes, they don't have my license number.
It would have been a pretty fun explanation though for the cop. Like, you got there and he was like, "What are you kids doing?" Oh, yeah, we don't actually know anybody in the cemetery. We're actually here getting some like spooky stories for the podcast we're on.
That doesn't even sound that bad. Like, it's around Halloween. It's like, oh yeah, we just wanted a scary story. We wanted a haunted happening.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure if I was going to explain to this guy the whole podcast thing or not, because I feel like that's just like opening up to too many weird questions of like what you a
Yeah.
podcast.
I feel like it'd be weirder to actually visit someone at midnight.
Well, yeah, and I definitely
a lot
wasn't
more
gonna say
normal to
that. I
just
was
get
gonna
spooked.
say we're here to talk
Yeah.
in like the spooky atmosphere.
It would have been weirder, but like honestly, if it were me in the situation, I literally would have had some fucking. And this sounds like it would have been stupid, but like, cops deal with stupid people all the time, and it's easier for them to deal with stupid people than it is for them to deal with fucking like random
Geniuses.
people,
Geniuses.
I guess. Well, because if you go up to the cop and you're like, oh, my grandmother's buried in the cemetery, we're gonna try and do a midnight mass to see if we could.
That
That's-
is so awful.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
it's so
First of
bad.
all, Kyle, like because then
It's a
I
good
also
story.
need to be able to keep up that story if I were to make something up. You know, what if he asks like where her grave is or something, and I'm like,
Here, I'll come show you. Here, I'll come show you. What's your?
I feel like that's such an easy lie to spot when you could just not lie and be like, yeah, we're here because it was spooky and it's around Halloween.
Well, then you would have been like, go on, get out of here, and you wouldn't have had a fun
I-
story. But-
That's literally what happened, but he didn't talk to us.
yeah, but like, if you lied, it would have been a great graveyard.
it would have been a pretty
No,
good
it wouldn't
story.
have.
I'll give you that much.
Okay,
It would have been good.
I'd say talking to a police officer is better than not talking to the police officer.
Yeah.
We didn't have that option, Kyle. Unless we chased down their car and screaming like, "Stop!
Wait, I
just
can
wanna
explain.
You like see the police markings. You're like
It's
100%.
they had a
job.
huge fucking light attached to their car, like a spotlight, you know.
There's-
And I saw, yeah, that they
well,
were a
it's
police car.
possible.
Or it was a
The,
ghost car."
Yeah, it was the ghost of a car that broke down in the parking lot of the graveyard. No, because like it could be like the groundskeeper checking and making sure nobody's vandalizing. They could have a large spotlight if they're checking around.
You know who else does that? The police.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I'm just saying you don't
police.
have to immediately assume because it's possible that if it was
No,
a
but I saw the
groundskeeper-
markings on the car. It said police.
It was the
on
police.
it.
Yeah.
I know what a police car looks like.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they look different in state. that
Well,
you're
you
in.
think that I would know because I live in this state. So, you ever think about that?
Alright.
You ever think about that?
Well-
Can confirm he lives in the state.
Yeah, we just fucking doxed Luke shit.
Dude, can you believe I live in a state?
Yeah.
A state of depression, that is. Whoa.
Whoa!
Dude,
I don't have.
we
I don't
were
have
at the cemetery for like 20 minutes.
Not even.
It was so disappointing.
Not even. We were driving around for 20 minutes. We were in the cemetery for like 5 minutes.
I don't have like I didn't stay at a cemetery. I do have a fun cemetery story, I guess. When I was in Boy Scouts still, we did like a Memorial Day thing where we went to the local cemetery and we put American flag, like the little fucking like 10-cent American flags you can get at department
Mhm.
stores and shit. We just put those on like the veteran graves. And it was like this little cute thing we were doing for Memorial Day, and we went out in groups and we did specific areas
Uh-huh.
of the cemetery. And so we were going in twos, and I was with my friend Mohamed, and they sent us to like I don't know why, maybe they just hated us, but I was a little fat kid and he was like a little younger than me and he was newer. So they were just like, yeah, you're gonna do the furthest section that we have. You're gonna go all the way to the back fucking corner, and you're gonna put American flags on all the veteran graves that are out there. What they didn't tell us was that the veteran graves that were back there apparently don't have fucking markings on them, and they were supposed to give us a list of names to put because that's like one of the oldest sections of the graveyard. And most veteran graves, if you ever seen them, have a little American flag on them when they're buried. But they didn't give us the list of names. So the first thing that happened in this fucking graveyard is we immediately got back there. We're alone. Maybe I would say it wasn't a quarter of a mile, but it was quite far. We couldn't see anybody anymore away from everybody. With all these graves that are unmarked, well, they're not unmarked, they have names, but they don't have the little American flag symbol on them. So we don't know what the fuck we're doing. So we spent half an hour walking around looking at graves, trying to find any of them that were veterans. We got back, and we were like, none of them were veterans. They were all not veterans. And then they go, that's not possible. They gave us sections that were specifically like where some veterans were, but like more than like 15 or whatever. So like there have to be. Go check again. So we go back, fucking walk the however long it took us to get back there, and we're like, we already know there's no fucking veteran graves, so we're just gonna sit here. And we weren't in uniform or anything, because this is so stupid. We weren't in uniform because it was just like a little outing thing, and we were going as a group, so we were just in like t-shirts and jeans, because later on we were probably going to be doing some like remulching or something for like the area up front. We were just doing this, and then we are going to do some other things for the graveyard. I don't even remember. We didn't get that far. So, Mahan and I are sitting there, just like sitting on a fucking grave, talking for like 10, 15 minutes, and nobody is, but we don't see fucking anybody. Nobody's fucking back here. And all of a sudden, we like turn, we hear a noise, we turn to our left, there's some fucking woman crying at a grave maybe like 15 feet from us that we didn't see walk up.
That's scary.
That's awkward.
It wasn't scary. We were like, that's fucking weird. We didn't see her come in. She's like crying at a grave. She was wearing, I don't even remember. She was wearing like a dress. She didn't look old timey. It's not like a ghost thing.
Did you comfort her?
Weird. Well, hold on. So she's weeping in a grave that's like 10 or 15 feet off, and Mahana and I are like, this is fucking weird. We're just sitting there.
What a loser.
We should move. And then I was like, well, if we move, wouldn't it look even weirder? Because, like, if we're staying at the grave, maybe, like, we knew the person and we're just, like, visiting a grave. But if we move, then it's like we're not supposed to be here. I don't know my logic at the time. But my logic was if we move, then it's going to look like we're not supposed to be here. And she's going to think that we're weird. So let's just sit here 10 feet from this sobbing fucking woman with our bundle of American flags. Yeah, that'll be fine.
That sounds like the worst option.
What was the worst option? We sit there. We're still talking. 5 minutes later, we hear a voice from behind us. Is like, hello? And we're like, oh, god damn it. And we turn around. It's that fucking woman who was weeping in her gravestone.
Hers?
Yeah, it was not her gravestone. A gravestone, and she walked up to us, and we were like, "Oh fuck, hello." She was like, "What are y'all doing?" She didn't have an accent, but it's what are you guys doing here? We were like, "Oh, we're just here doing a project with the boys."
Oh, this hurts.
That's great. That's really good that you guys are getting active in the community. She was not she was like an elderly woman. I wouldn't say she was like 80, 90. She looked kind of like 60s, 70s. And we were like, yeah, yep, Boy Scouts are a really rewarding thing. My my grandson was a Boy Scout, and we were like, what? She was like, yeah, he was a Boy Scout. Unfortunately, we lost him about 2 summers ago. Oh, that's real good, lady. What happened? I should have
Kyle,
asked.
the scariest thing. This is worse than any horror story ever, okay? The scariest thing you can give me is cringe.
I thought I was being polite, and I said...
That's not polite!
I was like 14, and this sad old woman came up to me and was just talking to me in a graveyard, and I didn't know what to do. So I was like, oh, what happened? And she started crying again, and now I'm like, fuck.
And you're supposed to be like, no, lady, I'm being polite.
Why are you sad, idiot?
She was like, a drunk driver hit him while he was crossing the road.
Jeez.
On a bike.
Wait, the bike hit him?
What?
No, yeah, the bike hit him. No, he got hit by a
was
car
on the
while he
bike,
was riding
Kevin.
his bike.
There was a joke.
And so she's fucking crying, and so I'm sitting there. I'm 14. Mohammed's probably 12. We don't know what the fuck to do. And at this point, one of the adults had come to look for us because they found out they had the list. So one of the adults else comes up and just sees us sitting on a gravestone and a woman crying in front of us.
I hate this.
Why are you sitting on a gravestone?
Because we were like leaning up against a fucking big gravestone.
Why are you?
I don't- I
Yeah,
feel
you're
like
not
that's-
supposed to do that.
That's how you get haunted.
Yeah. Okay. Look, there were a lot of bad decisions that.
Yeah, I mean that probably wasn't the dumbest part of this story. You're just awkwardly standing there like, oh man, this lady is crying. I don't
One
know.
of the scoutmasters comes up and sees us talking to a woman, and she's fucking bawling her eyes out. And he immediately comes up and is like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry for whatever these two did." And she was like, "No, they were perfectly wonderful." And he just goes, "I'm sure," and drags us off. So we got sent home for making an old woman cry, and we didn't get the rest of the fucking community service hours from that project.
That's what you're worried about? Oh man, I can't get my community service hours. What did you learn from this, Kyle? Did you learn a lesson?
I learned a lot of lessons.
Okay, list them off.
I learned not to ask how your dead relative died if they died more than fucking 10 years ago. I learned not to stay near grieving people. I learned loitering in a graveyard's probably a bad idea in general.
I
I
can tell you that.
learned that on old graves, they don't fucking print the American flag symbol so that Boy Scouts 20 to 40 years later can figure out what fucking grave they're supposed to put American flags on.
That's an important lesson. Everyone,
That's
you know,
important.
everyone learns that when they're growing up. That's an important one to go through.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the only graveyard story I can think of off the top of my head is when I made an old woman weep openly in a graveyard.
You know,
And I got fucking blamed.
you know
for
what I
it.
don't understand though. So I was
Hmm.
talking to one of my friends about the graveyard thing of me and Kevin the other day, right? And she says like, well, I mean, the graveyard must have been closed. Like graveyards, you know, they close at sundown. And what I don't understand is how does the graveyard even close when you think about it? 'Cause like a Burger King, right?
The police
You-
shows up.
You go to a Burger King when it's open and they give you burgers, but if you go to a Burger King when it's closed, then there's no people there, so you can't do anything. It doesn't make any sense. A graveyard when it's open, there's dead people underground, and when it's closed, what, are they not there? Are they gone? Are they alive? How is it closed?
Well, yeah, the spirits, they hang out somewhere else. They
The-
leave. You're only allowed to be there when the spirits are there.
Why? The spirits aren't offering me a service. There's no goods here. Maybe there should.
No, you're
be.
supposed to be the one offering the goods. You know, like
You ever thought
offerings.
of a for-profit graveyard, like a graveyard with a gift shop? That would be pretty cool, right?
A private graveyard.
Would it just sell like normal graveyard stuff, or is it like, oh, you can get a miniature version of this specific person's
Oh my
grave?
god, that's awful. I love it. What if my grave is really nice, okay? And so I put it on private property that has a gift shop attached to it, and it's like, ooh, Luke's grave. You can get a little keychain of the Luke tombstone. You can get a
Yeah.
little.
You
You can get an I went to Luke's grave T-shirt.
Well, you got to do something to distinguish.
There's an open grave and people flick coins into it.
You can see the person decomposing.
Yeah, I'll be in there.
Yes.
Maybe they'll mummify
No,
me
No.
instead.
He'll be preserved in like the
In
quarters.
You don't preserve someone in quarters. I don't think they preserve. I
I
don't
want-
think they
There's enough of 'em.
preserve.
They should have like two. Okay, so there's like these huge buildings and like grave. They're not like mausoleums, but they're like big buildings where they have like the stones on the walls for like people that still want a graveyard or like a gravestone or something to mark their life. But like if they were like say cremated and they can't have their remains anywhere, or their remains are small, they can put them in like the wall in this building.
Uh-huh.
We have one of those in the graveyard near there. What I would want is I would want one of those, but it's like a drawer, and there's like a glass thing on the side, so you can watch me as I'm fucking dead and decomposing.
Why? I don't think anyone would want to watch you.
Yeah,
Like
because
that.
then the local school could bring like kids there and be like, "This is how a body decomposes. They're in this stage of decomposition."
Look at this Kyle dude. He's fucking dead. Point and laugh.
You know, I'm still alive, believe it or not.
No, this isn't how this is supposed to
No,
go.
no, no. Going back to the thing. We go to Luke's gravestone at his nice, fancy private area, and written on his gravestone is his link to the Death Wiki, and you can learn more about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in my scenario, though,
It's like there's a QR code on
Oh,
it.
that would be so
Scan
cool.
yeah, but in my scenario, little do those people know, I don't have the window there for them to watch me. I have the window there so I can watch
Now,
them.
what are you? You faked your death? You're fucking decomposing in there, just like, oh, they'll never know.
Yeah, in 10 years, I'm gonna pop up and like bang on the glass, and everyone's gonna be so surprised.
Dude, that'll be so worth it. Pull a, you know Timothy Dexter.
Yes.
This guy got like, this was the 1700s, I think. Just like became.
Somewhere
What?
around. Somewhere
Yeah,
around
he just
there,
like became absurdly rich through like ridiculous business ventures that everybody else thought he was an idiot for, but he just kind of like lucked his way into a ton of money, and then he's like, you know what? I don't care if people think I'm an idiot. I'm rich. And then he ended up faking his own death, going to his funeral, and then he was mad because his wife wasn't crying hard enough, so he beat her with a cane.
Yeah, in front of
In
everybody.
front of everyone, yeah, just for them all to see. Now that's a pretty interesting dude right there.
He wrote a memoir about his life called A Pickle for the Knowing One,
This is my favorite part.
and it had no punctuation anywhere in it. So on the second edition, he made 4 full pages at the end of just different punctuation marks, and then put at the end of the book, people complained that there was no punctuation, so I put these here for you to pepper as you wish.
Yeah, I did. I marked up my copy with a bunch of punctuation that I got from the end of the book. Just kidding. I don't buy
Yeah,
books.
but you're limited to what you can get from the end of the book, so if you run out...
Yeah,
of
exactly. It's like a sticker book, you know, but with
stuff-
punctuation. You know what bugs me
Yeah.
about the cemetery story from earlier, right? That graveyard, right? Wait a minute. Is it a graveyard? Cause there's a church next to it. Does that make it a graveyard? I think that's what makes it a graveyard.
Okay. I will
It doesn't matter.
agree.
The point is, it's a one-way, right? You go in one way, you come out the other way. A lot of people just don't realize this. I was telling Kevin, and I guess I wasn't describing it well enough because he went in the wrong way, and I'm like, no, that's the wrong way. You're not allowed to do that. And like, it doesn't matter because it's not like anybody was trying to.
The police officer
Kevin,
did it.
I'm getting to that part of the story. Why are you like?
Oh.
You're really gonna interrupt me here?
I just had a revelation.
Yeah, that was the second part. That's where we were going.
Well, I guess we don't need to hear you anymore.
Yeah. Well, you want to hear something that is relevant
Nice.
to you, Kevin? I looked up a couple laws related to just like graveyards in Rhode Island. Oh yeah, we're in Rhode Island. I forgot to mention that, just to see what was applicable. And necrophilia in Rhode Island is no less than 1, but no more than 10 years in prison, and you cannot be fined more than $10,000. So when you think about it, if you've got $10,000 and up to 10 years of your life to spare, then like, what's stopping you?
Why is this
It
related
was a
to
joke.
me?
It's not actually related to you.
I want you to explain why it's related to me.
What if the person consents to the necrophilia before their death?
Then
That's a good
that
question.
kind of is a good question, actually.
Like,
You just write it in your will.
Yeah, like it's in their will that like my husband can still fuck me if he wants when I die.
I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. That's a question for a lawyer.
I'm sure that like
If we have any lawyers, email us at
No, don't email us.
gmail.com.
Kyle will suck my dick.
I was hoping you had forgotten, but I have not.
I know.
Luke, even in death, he'll still do it if you put it in your will.
I don't even have a will. There's no way.
Yeah.
No, you do. He's your roommate.
Oh
Remember?
yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
That was a
good
deep
one.
cut. I mean, Will is everybody's roommate according to the Death Wiki.
Yeah, which is always accurate. So.
I have not known it to be inaccurate. You know what? You know what though? Honestly, with the whole Death Wiki thing, right? With us putting a bunch of fake lore on there related to the fake Cubic Inch of Sound podcast that we're just making up and pretending that that's what the podcast is actually about. I kind of want to
Yeah.
do a like a fiction improv comedy podcast series, you know? Not fan fiction. I don't want to base it off of something else.
Well, like a good way to do that is literally just having a fucking D&D podcast. Like everybody does that.
A what podcast?
A D&D
Oh yeah,
podcast.
yeah. I can.
That
I
has
considered
rules.
that, but I don't really. I wouldn't want to do D&D because I wouldn't want there to be one dungeon master. You know. I would. I would
Right.
just want it to be like we decide on a very rough outline like before the episode, and then we just kind of go scene by scene and have people improv and just see what happens. You know. I feel like that could be fun.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah. So we're killing off a
Probably-
cubic inch of sound. We're done with this. We're doing
Yeah. And instead, we're doing a cubic inch of roleplay, where we all just.
Well, no, wait. We gotta call it a gateway to Satan, because when you think about it, roleplay is a gateway to Satan.
We gotta,
If I learned anything from the
spec-
Satanic Panic,
Yeah, it's like, man, you know, when those brave activists turned the founder of the
Westboro Baptist Church gay.
Westboro Baptist Church, that was.
I
really
think it was
brave.
Mississippi police want to arrest the Satanists who turn dead people gay. that is a headline from Vice that the Satanic Temple has framed in their building, and I know because
That's
I've
pretty
been
good.
there. I saw it with my own eyes.
I don't know because you
The
could be
Satanic
lying.
Temple's pretty spooky.
I mean, they're like
not really.
they're
It's
spooky
wholesome.
themed, but they don't really do much that's spooky.
Spooky to
Well,
Catholics.
yeah, anything's spooky to Catholics. You'd fucking swear in front of them and they'd like clutch their pearls. I mean, I'm just saying.
like that old lady.
Yeah,
in
like the old lady
graveyard.
in the graveyard. When women exercise their freedoms, that's when Christians are like, oh, but we don't want to go too far now, do we?
I don't know. So how do y'all feel about what are your plans for Halloween, which is today because this is the Halloween episode?
You can't just
It's not
declare that it's
today.
today. That's not how time works. I would probably
Yeah,
put it up tomorrow, but I guess.
Wow, now everybody knows
Um,
that we're not recording this on Halloween.
I
Luke.
mean, you could be listening to it at any time. When you think about it.
yeah. Well, what are your plans? What are your plans for tomorrow then? Because I don't even
Work
have a
an
job.
extra 2 hours at my job because they're like, oh god, we're gonna get super heckin' busy,
Damn.
so we need you to stay an extra 2 hours.
Are you
Imagine
getting
having
money
a
for it?
job.
Yeah, but then I have an exam when I get home.
Who
Damn.
puts an exam on a Saturday? It's awful.
They put it on Halloween because they didn't want us to actually go out and do anything.
That's awful. Can you sue?
Sue them for
Being
what?
too mean.
Libel, I don't know. Yeah, being dingus.
Alright, if we have any lawyers, email us at a cubicinchofsound@gmail.com. I don't even
yeah,
know if that's what it is.
That's it.
Alright.
But we won't pay for representation. We'll just take your advice. And
Speaking of which,
represent
I don't know if
ourselves.
Nick ever actually checks that email. I've had the recurring thought of like, what if people have been sending in dozens of emails and Nick just doesn't know because he's the one with the email. Anyway, I'm not doing anything tomorrow, frankly, because like I can't go out and do stuff. I don't have a small group of friends together with in person, nor do I really have anyone who's probably going to do things online. So guess I'll sit here.
I don't know. I was gonna okay. I had like 3 different plans that all fell through, and now I have like a plan that I want to do. Because like I was originally just gonna sit in my living room and my you people are not gonna respect me after this,
I
but whatever,
didn't.
you don't
Oh,
respect me anyway.
okay.
Um,
Yeah, you're right.
uh, I for the past 2 years on Halloween have we've had the Halloween decorations outside,
Mm,
and they're all like lights. They're all lights and inflatables and shit.
mm.
And I have put on a Santa outfit, and we have a two-way switch on the side door that's like to the front of the house. So on the side of that door, there's a two-way switch, and when a kid like rings the doorbell, I flick the one to all the lights that are for the Halloween decorations off. I flick the other one on, and Christmas music starts playing, and it turns on all the lights that are inside, and I open the door and say
What?
Merry Christmas, and then get
What is
candy.
this?
And the reason is because I like seeing the children's reactions when they fucking see that it's someone saying Merry Christmas. And
They're gonna beat you up.
they're probably
Dude,
well, because when it all the parents
I would beat you up.
yeah, all the parents just like laugh, and like all the kids are like, "It's not Christmas," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "It's Halloween."
and you're like, ho 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 ho.
Yeah, exactly. You're funny. Like it. So they find it funny. I think we have fun.
We have fun.
I find it fun, but like the problem is we got really lazy this year. We have no decorations, so like I could still do that and answer with like Christmas music, but it's COVID, and I'd be
Oh,
I
you
don't
know
know.
what I'm gonna do?
what?
At work, I'm gonna campaign. I'm gonna start a fucking revolution on all of the TVs. I'm gonna try and get them to play Monster House.
Wow, we're really going out there, aren't we?
It's gonna happen. Listen, I have a thing, all right? In the like, for 4 or 5 years, I've campaigned for all of us to watch Monster House together, and nobody fucking wants to do it, even though it's an incredible Halloween movie.
Who's
Just make
us?
a petition.
Like,
Like everyone in the Discord.
didn't you guys watch Monster House at some point?
I watched it at NEIT because all of you suck.
Because I feel like I remember you and like Nick or something watching Monster House at some point.
No.
And I
There was a plan for me and Kelsey to watch it, but that never happened, so I just watched it at college with college friends.
I just have no interest. I don't know what to tell you.
It is a good movie.
It is
You're
definitely
really
okay.
convincing me.
You're wrong. It's not okay. It's good.
I don't know. There's just so many other spooky movies that I would legitimately like to watch, like Coraline, as suggested last week. You know,
That's a
or
really
like
good
Trick or
movie.
Treat. I kind of want to rewatch it this year, but like since I'm not actually doing anything for Halloween, that seems like it would just be more sad than anything.
Here's a fun fact about Coraline. I think you probably already knew this, but They Might Be Giants was originally going to do the entire soundtrack. For
I
the
did
movie.
not know that actually, or maybe I've heard it
The
before and I just forgot. I don't know.
The director wanted them to do the whole soundtrack, but all of the producers said no. So they ended up doing collaborating with an orchestra and I think a Hungarian choir to do the soundtrack. But they kept one song from the movie, and They Might Be Giants put the credit song that they were going to use into one of their albums later on. The song that they kept was the song that Other Father sings to Coraline, and that is the lead singer of They Might Be Giants singing in the Other Father's voice.
Is it? Huh. That's interesting. You know what?
Well,
I have
you
not.
seen
I have
Coraline,
not seen
haven't you?
Coraline. That's why I want to see it.
You have
That's
not
why I
seen
want to
it.
see it
Yeah,
more than Monster House.
Well, there's a scene where Coraline's father sings a song about her, and it's a really heavily analyzed song by like super fans because apparently there's a lot of foreshadowing in the song, but it's also just kind of a jam. And it's They Might Be Giants song.
Nice.
And then on one of their albums, there's a song called Careful What You Catch, which is about Coraline. or Careful What You Pack. That's what it is. Careful What You Pack, which is about Coraline. And like, if you listen to the lyrics, it's about the book.
Huh. Well, that's neat.
Pretty good one.
You know what I don't
Yeah.
get?
What the fuck is
They
this?
Might Be Giants has been around for a really long time, right? And they still
Yeah.
don't know whether or not they are giants. They're still saying, "Oh, they might be giants."
Could be.
Are they or
Could be.
aren't they
Yeah,
giants?
could be.
I feel like we should have figured this out by now. And
Yeah, what are they? The early 80s since they've been
I think
around?
so,
They still
yeah.
haven't figured it out? Fucking weirdos.
and they still might be giants. Who? Who's giants?
Yeah, and they're still, like, 2 people.
They're looking at like Hagrid and they're like, "Ooh, is he a giant?" He's like, "He might be giant. I don't know."
Might be a-
Alright, so I am trying to log into my Roblox account to see if they're doing the Hallows Eve event that they usually do
Glad.
every year. But they have this new, like, CAPTCHA thing, and it's so
Are
fucking
you
annoying.
sure you're not a robot,
Like,
Kevin?
It's
Kevin's just
they have
like-
6 images and like pick the pair of dice with the same icon facing up, and you need to do like 7 of these. And I've never seen this before in my entire life. Like, is Roblox like breaking new ground, or are they trying to put a mini game into logging in?
They're trying to stop all the stupid kids so that they can reduce their bandwidth.
I'm a stupid kid then.
Your words, not mine, kiddo. I don't know what to tell
I
you.
logged on to Roblox to see what he was talking. Oh, I hate it.
I'm not
Oh, I
logging
hate
onto Roblox
this.
just to look at the.
One and done. What? Yeah, what is this, Kevin? You're right. Jesus Christ.
Well, now it sounds a little bit exciting.
No, it sucks.
I didn't get it for the first time, and then it's like, oh, that's what they mean.
I mean, no, I got it, but like,
I didn't get it. I didn't read it right.
I have no idea if they're doing their Hallows Eve event. All I know is I have logged in and I already hate it.
I have not logged in yet. I need to do. Oh, I did it right the whole time. I did 8 of them. What the fuck? Let me
Kevin,
log in.
you're a robot. I'm telling you. I don't know what to. I don't know how else to explain this.
I'm gonna speedrun logging into Roblox.
As
I received a message from one of my friends August 4th of this year on Roblox. I haven't played Roblox since 2012.
you know, as the
Damn.
robots get smarter and smarter, captchas are just gonna start like asking us for introspective essays. You know.
Yeah. To be
They
valid.
keep adding more. Like originally I need to do 5, now I need to do 9.
Because really, a robot isn't gonna understand like shame or like pride or disappointment or anything. So they're gonna start asking us about that. And then the hackers are just
Yeah.
are gonna break new ground with robotics.
Well, at that point, they could literally just have like a variation of like 15 essays with different words that they can like.
No, it's
copy
impossible.
paste.
It would never happen.
Oh, finally. What? 2-step verification. Why?
That's pretty funny.
I
Um,
didn't
If
get
the
the
first
email.
step is making you
don't,
solve a
um,
fucking Rubik's Cube, what do they have to do after that?
I don't see anything, but I do have 1 Robux.
Wow.
All my Robux are stolen.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I'll tell
Yeah,
that
go
story. I hadn't logged into my Roblox account for like years, and I got an email saying that someone tried to change the email address on my account, and I'm like, hold up, that's not me. So I looked at it, and someone hacked into my account and tried to like change the email and password. So it showed me what the email was that they tried to change it to. So I emailed that, and I just subject bruh, and then the message was just I don't remember
what
what
was?
the message
Oh
was.
no, I needed to know.
or it was like bruh why or something like that. It was something like that. It was bruh what, and they saw the email and they knew that it was me with my Roblox account, and they're like, well, technically, I'm not the one who hacked into it. I just bought it from someone else who hacked into it. I'm like, who is selling my Roblox account? So I asked the guy how much I was worth, and he's like, I need your username and password to tell you that. And I'm like, fuck off, dude. So I don't know how much I'm worth.
But you should have
I
given
just
it
want
to
to
him.
know.
I remember hearing that story.
No.
Story. Yeah, no, wasn't he like, yeah, so I bought it, so can I have the account?
So that guy just got screwed. He spent money on my account, and then I
It
just
was
changed the
probably
password.
like a couple of dollars.
Listen, dude, I have exclusive Halloween items. All right.
Anyway, but your Robux got stolen, didn't they?
Yeah, he logged in and like transferred all of the Robux to
Yeah.
another account. So maybe that was just the goal. Like
So,
spend
I
a
mean,
few
he
dollars
got
on
what he
someone's
wanted.
account and then just like transfer the Robux.
My email account was never verified, and that email account was hacked like ages ago. So it's never gonna be.
Damn. So it's not they're not sending me an email. I have like they're not doing it. Resend the code, please.
Did you check
I
your
should log
spam?
on to my Neopets account and see.
All mail. Yeah.
I checked
no?
my spam and it was all political ads, and it was all from one side.
Hooray! No spam here.
Woohoo! You did it. You achieved the one goal of life. No spam.
So maybe my account got sold again.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they convinced the cops that they were you.
If you recently bought a Roblox account, send us an email at acubicinchofsound@gmail.com.
Frankly, I don't think I want to talk to anyone who's bought like Roblox accounts off of other people. It's just lame. I don't know what else to say.
Dang.
And you can fight me
I,
anytime.
I can't log into my Neopets account. No.
Who goes on Neopet? What are you gonna do with a Neopet?
I don't know. Be cool.
Listen, all of the cool kids were on Club Penguin, and then they shut it down, but then now there's like the private servers or whatever. I haven't actually looked at those, but I've heard that they're good. But I was a Club Penguin kid, alright?
Yeah.
What? Oh, what? Club Penguin wasn't good enough
I
for
didn't
you?
play I didn't play it at all. I played
I did play
Webkins.
Club Penguin, but Club Penguin's dead
Well,
now.
yeah, I
isn't it?
mean, like, they shut it down. I'm just saying that Club Penguin was the coolest. It was the best.
I played all of them.
I
had
want to say the first time I played Club Penguin was when it was shutting down, but that was when I played it the most.
The
I was
the
always
secret
Webkins.
agent missions in Club Penguin were just top notch. They were so cool, so good, perfection. Nothing better. Anyway, you guys have any last minute graveyard things you want to say?
Don't make old women cry. in
1v1 me at the Dark Cave in Wizard 101.
That's not graveyard.
It's
The
close.
last.
I don't have a graveyard thing, but I have something that I want to talk about.
Oh
real
yeah,
fast.
sure. Go ahead. Oh, if it's good.
So this is I don't even know if it's good. It's just fucking weird. My mother is like a TA.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, at a preschool near us. And she's been bringing home like extra, like, give the kids like these little breakfast packs
Uh
in the morning, and she's just been bringing home like extra one of those just so we can eat, so people can eat them or
huh.
whatever.
Yep, that's what they do.
And they're usually like pretty normal. Like I literally just ate one. It was like yogurt, graham crackers, and some granola. Like the other ones were like muffins, applesauce, and some like little graham cracker things. I took a look at the ones she brought home today because we don't usually have to refrigerate them because usually it's just like yogurt or applesauce. We refrigerate the yogurt ones, but the applesauce ones, that's what most of them are, so we don't have to refrigerate
Okay.
those ones. Fucking, there was like a shitload in the refrigerator, and I was like, what's going on here? I opened one up. It's like string cheese and a cup of ham.
What?
What child wants to eat string cheese and ham cup
What
for
child
breakfast?
doesn't?
Is this related to anything spooky at all?
It's spooky that we're feeding kids in preschool ham cups.
I could go for some
That's
ham. I
pretty
don't know.
spooky.
I'm a ham fan.
Ham cup?
Fan of ham.
You want ham cup?
I could go for. Listen, if you gave me ham in a cup right now, I'm sure I would eat it. Unless it was like gross
Sure,
ham.
okay. That's fair. I don't know. All ham,
Ham
is
is
gross.
not gross. There's good ham.
Ham's fucking awesome.
Ham's kind of gross.
I disagree. You're wrong. I don't know what to tell you. Eat shit and die. I mean, like
Okay,
that's
well,
the
wow.
nicest way I can say it. I couldn't say it any
Halloween.
nicer way. If I tried. Anyway, the last time
Anyway, that's all.
we had just 3 people on here was the very first episode. Which is
So yeah, how are we
which
gonna
is
vote
fun.
here?
We didn't the first time we didn't even really do a vote. I don't know if we want to vote or if we just want to discuss it amongst the 3 of us, you know? But do you 2 have suggestions? Non-spooky, mind you, suggestions for next week?
Yes, I have one.
Okay.
Subspace Emissary.
Why though?
I
Like
don't
the
know.
whole thing?
I mean, you can play as much as you want. I was gonna play it in Project M.
Oh, I didn't
See
even
if
think
that's
you could
cool.
play it in Project M. I just remembered
I'm
so,
done.
sorry, I just wanted to say I remember the last part of Subspace Emissary being like, okay, now play the whole game again, and you go through everything
Yeah.
again.
But if you know where you're going, I don't think it's that
Except
bad.
this time when you play it, you're playing as Luigi, and it's called Super Luigi mode.
I wonder if you could use like the custom characters added, because I was thinking of doing the mod pack, the PMEX remix. I wonder if the custom characters will like show up. No, I don't mean like they add him to the story if they're just like options.
Yeah, I would imagine not, but I'm really not sure. So
Yeah, so my suggestion since Spooky Month's over, I mean, I know I still recommended albums during Spooky Month, but I'm back to recommending albums. So, I'm gonna recommend. Oh shit, I kind of want to recommend Coraline, but yeah,
you could.
The Coraline, the movie.
no, the podcast. What? Like what? What else?
The one that we're gonna watch in like 20 minutes.
Are we? Never mind.
No, I
then.
mean we could
I'm
it
gonna
could be on the podcast, and then we could just still watch it in 20 minutes.
I'm gonna recommend Dear Wormwood by the Oh Hellos. It is one of my favorite albums. The band is a very large band. They're I think 14 persons.
That's absurd. Does one of them
And-
play the fire alarm?
Let's see. They have
No, you don't need to list out all the instruments. Just what kind of music is it?
Yeah, we're good.
it's like very symphonic folk music, but it's clearly not like most folk music is like a guy with an acoustic guitar and they're singing. This is not that. It's very symphonic, very orchestral. And the creators of the band are a brother and a sister. And it's focused a lot on harmonies between them and the instruments. It's really, really good. The whole album is one of the best breakup albums I think ever made.
I'm not
All right,
breaking
I have
up
a question
notes,
for
so-
you. Here's a question.
Yeah.
What more is there to say about it other than what you just told us right now?
About the album?
Yeah, like how are we gonna talk about it? If
How are we
you
gonna
just
talk about
explain
it?
everything in it in like 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, there's a story that like the album has a story behind it. There's some influences. The lyricism is very good. We can discuss that. We can discuss what parts of the songs we liked. We could also go down the list of songs and talk about what we liked or disliked from the song. We can talk about the album as a whole and our reactions to it at the end. There's a lot, Kevin. I don't know what your problem with the album is.
I don't want to talk about music, and you really need to sell me on it, and you really haven't.
Okay, all right. What do you want me to sell you? Because it's one of my favorite albums. It's incredibly good. A lot of the music is really, really catchy. They're a very energetic band, so they like a lot of the songs are very anthemic and kind of get like stuck in
Listen,
your
Kyle,
head.
is it gonna make me a better person?
Yes.
Oh, okay, then you fucking sold me. Hell yeah.
After listening,
Is
to
it gonna
the
make me hallucinate?
person, it's not gonna make me hallucinate, unfortunately. We didn't even fucking listen to that one, so why would that?
I listened to it on my own. I didn't care for it.
Well, yeah, you didn't do it right.
What? Okay, listen. You didn't send me the image until later on, and I was in the dark. I wasn't doing anything. I was sitting there with the lights off, like just listening to the music with headphones and shit. It's fake. Listen, like if you deprive yourself of
I
your
get it.
senses, you'll probably just start hallucinating because you're starting to fucking dream because the music is so boring.
I did it and it worked, and it was great.
Yeah,
Anyway,
listen, I can go take a nap right now, and I'm sure I'll hallucinate something incredible.
Look, this is not Giles Corey. It's not some weird shit. It's just good music with a story. Like, there's an overarching story in the album. It's one of my favorite fucking albums.
You know what? You sold me until you brought up Deconstructionist. Now I'm mad. Now I'm not voting.
I didn't bring a Deconstructionist. Evan brought up Deconstructionist.
So anyway, I'm going to say one that I honestly feel is a little bit obvious, but I don't know if it's obvious to you guys. This is not a movie, it's not a book, it's not an album, it's not a game. It is the U.S. presidential election 2020. Yeah, I mean, election day is Tuesday. We're going to be recording Wednesday, so I imagine some stuff will have happened by then. Basically meaning, you know, we just get a little bit informed, at least have some level of inform, you know. We all go vote. I mean, I've already voted. Probably a lot of other people have too, but
I'm waiting till Tuesday so that I can miss my class intentionally.
Nice. Epic. All right, so Kevin, what do you think about the two other suggestions? Just, you know, we're not even going to do it. We're going to share thoughts for now to gauge where we're at.
He's
The
already
music
said
is like not too interested. Presidential election. I won't show up to that podcast.
Look, Kevin won't be on the podcast. It's either of those. Okay.
So, is there one you'd rather
No,
do?
if it's the music,
I mean,
if there's the music, I will begrudgingly do it.
Okay.
But I just won't show up to a political conversation.
Kevin, your centrism will be
I
the
will-
end of you, I swear.
No.
Listen, when they come for the
I-
gamers, Kevin, sorry, when they come for the gamers, what are you gonna do, right? Are you gonna
I'm first.
are
on the
you
list.
gonna say, oh well, you know, I'm not really political, so
Yeah.
well, you get thrown right in the gamer prison, dude. Gamer prison.
I'll no clip out. All right. V.
You can't just say V.
I did.
All right, so Kyle, so Kevin hates both. Kyle, but he likes the music a bit better.
I would rather do the vote because I've talked about this before. I have a weird attention span when it comes to games, so trying to like actually sit down and play a game that like I didn't already want to play is kind of difficult. But like I've
You
done
would rather talk about politics than play a video game.
yeah, I have a pond.
I'm gonna be honest, Kevin. Like, politics aren't boring anymore.
You know that I'm okay. You probably don't know, but I'm a poli sci minor, Kevin. I don't care. I talk about politics a lot.
Listen, Kevin.
I mean,
Politics
look.
are real. Okay, what happens in politics happens in real life.
But do you know
and
what's
it affects-
cooler than politics?
Is the subspace.
Wait, who? Okay, you know what's more important? Who would you rather choose?
Kirby or
all right?
Mario? Is that the question?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna
As
say.
a kid, I chose Kirby. Nowadays, I'd probably go Mario.
Anyway,
Yeah, Mario seems like the better option here because you can't get abilities with Kirby when you're
Look.
sucking up the subspace dudes.
look, all I'm gonna say, Kevin, I don't have a fucking Wii, so I'm not gonna download Dolphin.
Who would you save? All right,
Oh my
Zelda or
fucking
Peach?
God.
God damn it. I'm just saying that I would vote more toward
Mario or Pit?
the presidential election one, than the subspace emissary. I'm sorry, I don't want to play Super Smash Brothers Brawl again.
Listen, Kevin.
Sonic.
You've hated on
Snake.
both albums and politics enough. I don't know why those are the two things you're so heavily against.
Would you rather choose Sonic or anyone else?
You don't get to
Now
choose.
you're
Sonic
getting
just shows up
fucking
at the end. I remember it vaguely.
Hey, Kevin,
No, he shows up at the end, but you still get to choose your party,
Kevin,
right? Because he
would
saves
you
everybody.
rather- Kevin, would you rather have your president be Ganondorf or Bowser?
Taboo.
No, you can't vote third party, you fucking protest voter. You have to vote for Ganon or
Master
Bowser.
Hand. So anyway, my thoughts
I
are
will
if I had
choose
to
the
choose.
ancient minister.
Okay, if I'm choosing between Subspace
Wow.
Emissary and Dear Wormwood, I'd probably choose the album, to be honest. Just because it seems more interesting. I mean, like,
I knew I should have waited for this one for people who had good opinions.
I was
For
I was
people who
I was
can
going to
try.
wait because I actually figured if we had like Nick here, he would have definitely voted for the election because we're both at least mildly engaged. You
He
know?
definitely would have voted in the election. No one else though.
My
If
point
you
is
fucking vote
that
for
mine
him,
I couldn't
be
put
like-
off another week because it's not going to be relevant then. So if this works for everybody, we'll be doing the music next week. Does that work?
Super. Yeah, that works.
Where can I get it for free?
Spotify.
Wow, that was a pretty succinct answer, I gotta say. Yeah, good job.
And YouTube.
Ooh, that two answers.
Are you talking about a cubic inch of sound?
Because you
Yes,
can
you
email
can get
us at acubicinchofsound@gmail.com for free and have your opinions heard.
Send us
for
the
free.
MP3s.
Send us the. Yeah, somebody contact the band, tell them about our podcast, and have them actually do a live performance of the album. We can review it properly because that's how they would
But
want it.
dude,
to be
you think
listened
that
to.
Sakurai will do a live performance of the Subspace Emissary for us if we like call him? I mean, my uncle does work for Nintendo, so
Hold on. It was a very good joke, but I just.
It was not. It was an awful joke. What the fuck is wrong with you for enjoying that?
I'm sorry, but I just noticed on the fucking Neopet website, they have the time going, and I thought it was weird because it wasn't like Eastern time, so it was 3 hours behind. So I thought it was Pacific time. No, it's Neopia Standard Time.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that. There's
What?
also the Club Penguin Standard Time or whatever.
Is there? I
Yeah.
didn't know about that.
cool.
That's fucking weird.
Well, that's fun. Oh, I forgot to mention that when I went, okay, this is take 2 seconds, I swear. When I was driving back from the cemetery, right? I ended up taking a detour because I wanted to go to Cumberland Farms to pick up some chips or something.
Ghosts.
And I saw a cop pull into the Taco Bell and start shining his lights everywhere looking for teenagers smoking weed in the Taco Bell parking lot. I'm like, fuck off. Cop.
It was the same cop from
No, it was in
Missouri.
another state, so I don't think
He
so.
was looking for Kevin. There's actually an international manhunt for Kevin because he went the wrong way
Yeah.
into the.
Then why did they go to Luke then?
They got the wrong
They
guy.
didn't know Luke was there.
Yeah, well, they were looking for you, but they saw Luke and they didn't know that it was him because they didn't know he was there. So Luke's now letting you know so that you can get the fuck out of Dodge. Kevin, you got to go to a country that doesn't have a deportation law back to the U.S. if you get caught. Gotta go to
You should go to
Nicaragua.
a country where you can just go to graveyards, where the cops don't try and kick you out of graveyards, but not care if you actually leave. That's what I think.
Scatman's World.
Maybe they saw you walking up to them and they were like, "Oh, they're walking to their car, they're leaving," and then they just.
No, maybe they saw us walking up to them. They're like, "Ah, fuck! It's ghosts! Get out! Get out!"
Yeah, you looked like
Kevin
you looked
was
like a
stumbling.
zombie because you were like stumbling around. You couldn't see anything. You were like,
Zombies can't see. Confirmed.
they're dead.
Can they? Is that confirmed?
What? That they're
Somebody do a
dead?
study on that. Actually, that's what we're doing next week. We're doing a cubic inch of zombies. We got to figure out if zombies can see.
Okay. All right.
We're gonna do a bunch of studies.
Who wants to be the zombie?
I will be the zombie. Kill me for science.
Infection.
Already done.
Infection.